What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. This one's gonna be a deck profile, basically my Kagero deck. Yeah, let's get right into it. All right, so first card we got is Lizard Runner Undeux. He's starter, he's good, draws a card, play it. Next card we're gonna talk about is Waterfall.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Basically, it's a grade 3 twin drive force, 13,000 attack. When you call it, you get to retire grade 2 or higher. And that's not really the best of his ability. The second part, where when he attacks, you get to Soul Blast at grade 3. It gains 10,000 power in a critical, and you cannot call any sentinels, or your opponent cannot call any sentinels to the Guardian Circles, which gives us a big leg up on OTT and any Protect clans. Of course, you cannot have this deck without having the OG, the man himself, Dragonic Overlord. What can I say about this card? Basically, you Soul Blast to gain 10,000 for the turn. You can do it on the rear guard, you can do it on the Vanguard circle. And when he's in the Vanguard circle, if he hits, you can counter blast one, discard 2 cards, and stand again. Now, this could possibly in the long run hurt you if you do discard 2 cards, but with the trigger lineup that I have, I think it does help out. We run a little bit more draws than running like the 8 crits. But again, if you get a critical, you get to stand up and put more pressure on your opponent if you do hit. And if you get to grade 3 first and you ride this first, you know, it's a possibility that you're going to hit, especially with the force marker. If you Soul Blast one and your opponent does not have a perfect guard in sight, are they really gonna start dropping their hand? Because they do have to reserve their hand for the turn that you do get Waterfall. So it's just an amazing card. You know, what can I say? Anything else about this card? Alright, moving on to grade 2s. We possibly have the best grade 2 in the deck right now, which is Berserk Dragon. It is Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, retire an opponent's rear guard, and draw a card. I'll repeat this again. Retire an opponent's rear guard, and draw a card. And draw a card. It is such a breath of fresh air to be able to, even if your opponent doesn't have any rear guards, to be able to do this and draw a card, just because back in the day we didn't have the skill to be able to draw cards. Like Kagero decks would sputter, like just end up like really not having a lot of guard or having a lot of rear guards, because just you couldn't guard too much or you couldn't put a lot of stuff down. Where with this, it helps us out because, you know, you put in the Vanguard circle, you retire, you use this ability, and then you draw a card to be able to either replenish your field, maybe get an extra card that you're going to be needing to draw, or you could be stuck at grade 2 and then you do that, boom, there's your grade 3. Sometimes, you know, you feel like you're OTT or something. So I'm pretty happy about this. Also, it has a second ability that if you have more rear guards than your opponent and you attack the Vanguard, it becomes 13k, which then that's very important. So you do get to hit numbers, which is very, very important in the overall deck. But right now it's just one of the best cards. So next card we run is Armored Dragon Knight. Basically his skill is very simple. He gains 5,000 power and makes him a 15k when he attacks a Vanguard and your opponent has 3 rear cards or less. So, you know, sometimes your opponent might only have 3. If they have 4, you can maybe retire another one and be able to get his effect off. And it's just a great card to have right now, because a lot of other ones that you have to destroy something or kill something for it to get power. With this, you will automatically have power on it, and it's great for early pressure, to be able to put it down in your grade when you're grade 2, and be able to, if you have 2 more, just plop them down and try to put early pressure on your opponent if they don't have any rear guard. Great for the mirror match as well, because you don't have to wait for them to try to retire something and try to plus off of it, but you're able to put it out, attack. If it gets destroyed, it is what it is, whatever. But just another great card. All right. Then we have Nehalem. So basically, this new version of Nehalem, when you place it on the rear guard, counterblast one, choose an opponent's back rear guard. So anybody in the back row, retire it, and it gains plus 5,000. Now, again, this you can do without an opponent having a back rear guard. So if you just want the power so you can make numbers and do attack that turn, you could just counterblast one to give it power. So a little bit of plays, you can make plays with this card, with the 10k and the plus 5 to make it 15, and then you want to hit those big numbers, especially nowadays with the guards being so big. You want to make sure you try to hit those numbers so you can either get 2 cards out of your opponent's hand. 5 guard, not a bad card. Right now running it at 2, kind of just trying it out. Maybe I'll put it back to 3 or maybe 4, don't know yet, so kind of testing it out. I have a second card, Spillover Dragon. This is my basically tech card. What I like about this card, that it has a lot of great synergy with Aermo. We'll get to Aermo here in a second, but basically this card is when you counterblast one, after the battle is done, after you are done attacking the Vanguard, if you hit or not, it doesn't matter. You counterblast one, put it into the soul, retire any grade 2 or less rear guard on the field. What's great about this one is that you can choose, and it doesn't have to be front row or back row, and you can use this attack to it. Now you get no power or anything off of it, but again, like I said, it does synergize with Aermo, which is a great card, because then you can boost with Aermo, attack with this, boost with Aermo, and basically counterblast one, put it into soul, retire something, then use Aermo's skill when it retires something, retire Aermo, uncounterblast, unflip one, so that counterblast you paid for, you get back, and you get to draw a card, which is a great way to kind of synergize. You take one away, you draw a card, and you kind of are like kind of breaking even, so not bad at all. So next card we're going to talk about is Aermo, Flaming Hope Aermo. Basically the top MVP in the grade 1s right now, just because he can unflip and draw a card. Again, I repeat, draw a card. I repeat again, draw a card. So, and he has a lot of synergy with, like I said before, Spillover Dragon, which is great. And even anybody that can retire, even if you attack a rear guard and the rear guard goes, you can go ahead and, I believe, yeah, you can still use his effect to use him to unflip one and draw a card, which is really, really good right now. And he's the only one that lets us unflip one. The deck is a little bit, depending on how you use it, is a little bit counter blast heavy. So his first effect, that lets you, when he boosts, it gives him an extra plus 3,000, which makes him an 11k booster, which is great when you're trying to hit those numbers. And let's say you have a 15k Vanguard, or even a 20 or a 13k Vanguard, and you want to hit past 13, and with 15k shield, you're trying to build up to basically try to be 28, or anything more past 28 right now, because that's kind of like you want to get rid of more cards out of their hand. So yeah, I think Aermo is a great card. I think it's going to be a staple for a lot of decks to come with Kagero. So it's definitely a card that you want to go ahead and get 4 of and put in your deck. Then we have another great one, Bahr, basically grade 1, 8,000 attack. When he's placed on a Vanguard, counterblast 1, soul blast 1, choose a rear guard in the same column that he's in, that's grade 2 or less, retire it, and it gets plus 5,000. But here's the important part: if you have more than your opponent than your opponent's units. So if you have more rear guards, so you can't do this and let's say they got 4, retire 1, and then get the 5,000. You're not going to get the 5,000 extra. You need to have more rear guards at the time to get the 5,000 extra. So just remember that. That's a very important part for this guard. But other than that, he's like the OG guard, Bahr, where he has the 8,000 attack. But now he has a great ability with it, and I like the art. The art's pretty cool. But yeah, that's Bahr. And another one of the cards in the deck is Lizard Soldier Raopia. Basically, his effect is anytime while he's on the field, anytime something will get retired, it gets plus 5,000. This can possibly be a very big shift changer in when you do try to go in, or if you would have this behind Waterfall and you would get off the retire off of Waterfall, and let's say you get the retire off of something else, then you're adding plus 10k to already possibly something that's going to be a big attack if you keep putting all the force markers under Waterfall, and just to be able to make that number just greater for your opponent not to be able to guard and have to take the 2 crits, and also at a very critical moment, usually end game type stuff, and even you can even possibly even get it to 15k if you can retire 3 things. So this card used to be at 2 in my deck, then I moved it up to 3. Now I have 4 of, just because I see the potential, I see the power it has behind a Waterfall, especially late game, and especially when you can retire a lot of stuff. And for those clans that do get to put a lot of stuff on the field for you to retire, I just cannot not have this card at 4. I like seeing it, and it also, you can put 3 behind all 3 of the rear guards and just have them there, or you can even put it as an attack and have something else boosted, and anytime it would retire something, or you could retire something, it gains plus 5, which then becomes 13, and it still can either be an attack or it can be a defender. And you can put early pressure on your opponent. Hopefully they don't get a trigger, but you can put early pressure on your opponent, because if you get like 2 of these, you can just drop them both, ride and then drop both of them, and then just try to go in and try to get that early damage, because this deck really needs you to possibly be a little bit more aggressive early than we used to before. Before it used to be kind of hard not to try to go early, and you were trying to retire something and hopefully get something out of retiring something and then having the monster out there. But yep. So the last grade 1 of the deck is Dragonic Gaias. Basically has a great synergy with Waterfall as well. Just in the sense of you have your opponent down to 3 damage, and you're able to use this effect with Dragonfall's effect and possibly hit them for 3 criticals in 1 swing, or even put extra pressure on your opponent to actually block that, or try to finish the game off if they're at 2 and you want to just put an extra nail to the coffin. He doesn't give any boost, any power, but and then if he does boost and you use the effect, you lose his boost for the attack. But you get to put him in soul, which that does help with other effects. So that's not bad. But I did have him at 4 in the deck. I moved him down to 2 at the right now. It's a very situational here and there. So I think at 2 and pushing up Raopia really helps out the deck, just because you want more power. But yeah. And now for the trigger lineup, we have 6 crits, 6 draws, and 4 heals. The reason why I have the 6 draws is because you need to draw in this deck. You need to draw into your pieces. You need to draw into your waterfalls. early in the game. I also recommend maybe trying 8 draws, and I understand you want to run criticals, you want to do more damage, but if your deck already kind of does something, maybe have your triggers do something else in that sense, just because you need to draw into those waterfalls for you to be able to get those, be able to do Overlord, waterfall, waterfall, waterfall. You just keep getting the waterfalls, and you keep drawing the waterfalls to be able to continue putting pressure on your opponent, then not having the waterfall and having it sit an extra turn or 2 turns on just Overlord, or maybe you just do waterfall once and then you're sitting and letting them recoup and being able for them to use perfect guards on your main attack. You want to continue putting pressure, so you can play with the lineup. Again, you can go 7-5, 6-6, or even 7-6, 7-5 again, or just 8 draws and 4 crits, and see how it goes. I really like the crit one, the 6 draw one. Now, if you don't have waterfall, I would definitely suggest running the criticals, just because you want to get the damage out as soon as possible. But if you are running waterfall, you need to be able to draw them right away. So, and having the draw perfect guards opens up a lot of space for your grade 1, so you can play around, you can add more stuff and put, you know, certain cards and everything, and once more cards come out, you're going to see a lot of different lineups right now with the grade 1s and even the grade 2s. I even see people running 10 grade 3s right now. I'm not into running 10 grade 3s right now, because I find other stuff more important in the deck. A deck like OTT probably runs 10 grade 3s because they got to run their deers. So, you know, other than that, yeah. And that's it for my deck profile, guys. Make sure to leave a comment down below to let me know what you think is the best card in the deck, or what card should I be putting in this deck, and I'll give it a try in my other decks and stuff like that. Other than that, last thing is that I want to say is there is a giveaway. I will be giving away this playmat. Just leave a comment down below and make sure you put, let's say, don't go chasing waterfalls. Put your answer to the first question and put underneath, don't go chasing waterfalls. If you do, I will pick one person that is subscribed, and make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe and hit the like button, and I will check, let's say in a week, and we'll come back and I'll pick somebody and I'll set this off. Other than that, like I always say, guys, I'm not the best player in the world, but I'm alright though. Deuces.